Welcome to SportsDen 2024. It's your boy, Matt Lewis, tonight. I'm so happy to be joining you for this special occasion. We've got a great game on the line. It's Williamsburg headed to Plymouth, Massachusetts to take on the Taproots. I was slated to be here tonight with Ken Williams. Unfortunately, he could not join us, so tonight I am here with Ryan Eastman. Hello, Ryan.
Hey Matt, how you going?
I'm going fine. It's all up to really the Minutemen, in my opinion, in this game. They've got clearly a little bit more of a disadvantage coming to play what is arguably right now the best team in the FBA.
No doubt. I'd argue maybe not the best team in the FBA, but definitely the best team so far in the West, the East. Sorry, uh, is starting to float to the top as the season has gone along. They are in the middle of a bit of a losing streak, three in a row.
Right. And I was going to say, like, Williamsburg on the flip side is on a two-game winning streak. So I wouldn't say there's anything particularly um, advantageous other than if you were to look strictly at the records. And we'll get a little bit back into that as we go to the game. But I do see the players are taking to the court already, so we might as well head down there and get this game going.
Yeah, and as you said, the players heading to the court, but there's a lot of questions on the Williamsburg side.
Yes, we'll be seeing we'll be seeing both centers, Tarega and Turner, at the tip-off. And we are off. Plymouth gets the ball first. And Marone will bring it up. In a little bit of distance here to get a three-pointer, and that one's down to get the game 3-0 Plymouth.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to call over Jake to give a screen, just to give that little bit of extra separation.
And Williamsburg's going to try to get some separation themselves, struggling a little bit, so Marley takes it to the outside, but that one was no good. Turner will bring it back up for the Taproots. And the home crowd cheering on as Cruz finds some space to the left, and that was a long three that couldn't get down, so
Yeah, I'll say two early three attempts from Plymouth. Looks like they want to go from distance here tonight.
Yeah, and I will bring up the fact that when looking at both of these teams, statistically speaking, you wouldn't notice a whole lot of difference between them, except when you get to defense. And I think that's where we're going to see a little bit of interesting dynamic between these two teams. Not a lot of blocking and not a lot of stealing, but you will see quite a bit of advantageousness when it comes to just the amount of speed you see from the Taproots. That's where I think a major difference is. And then if you want to talk about just the amount of three-point attempts, Williamsburg goes down. I don't know if you know this, but Michaela Marley leads the league in three-point attempts.
It doesn't surprise me. She spent a number of years coming off the bench for Williamsburg, and she was playing that sixth fur role of being a three-point shooter when she'd get called off on the floor. And the extra minute just means more three-point attempts for her.
Marone there with a quick two to go up 7-5 over Williamsburg, just under 10 minutes in the first. Hands it off to La Tierra. And she'll jog it all the way back to Marley. And there's one of those three-point attempts, but Tarega has to get it tipped in there to make that one count and tie the game.
Well, don't forget, reigning three-point champion Michaela Marley. See if she can defend her title in the coming All-Star week.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things we could talk about tonight is that we know for a fact who's going to be in the All-Star week, who's got nominated this year, who is, well, I mean, there will be something to be said about who is opting not to participate this year, but for the most part, it's an exciting time coming up in just a few days here where we'll see some of our rookies including Tanya Linwood of the Minutemen here. We'll talk about her later and her impact on the team, as well as the Taproots here got a really big dunk there. Sorry, missing that one. It's 11-7 after
Yeah, and the
that
fact
shot.
that Plymouth had no representatives selected this year for the first time in quite a while, besides, I think, the rookie game.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do more with that. With Plymouth, it's a team effort. To seek out who individually is, it's always been Jake Turner at the top, but you could argue Trevor Cruz and Tanya Feckel and Marone. Some of the other starters are pulling their own weight on that roster. They're still obviously a very strong unit, but maybe it was one of those things where you can't really single out a particular player who's had amazing numbers this season.
Oh, and I think
Long three there is missed as well.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say, no, you're good. Marone kind of took a little bit of Trevor Cruz's job in the sense of adding some 3-point range back when it was Kenny DeMarcus. Obviously, he could hit a three, but that was not his bread and butter. So Cruz had a lot more openings, but now they're spreading the three ball around a lot more. So you're not seeing Cruz putting up the insane 3-point shooting that we got accustomed to during his first few years in the league.
Yeah, and La Tierra's quick two there ties up the game again. Cruz going for the three, just as you were saying, but couldn't get that one down, unfortunately. Spreading the three around, I think that's a major advantage tonight. Whereas, Williamsburg focuses with Marley taking most of the threes for their roster.
Yeah, and that's just been the side effect of, Vera's losing a bit of a step. And, she can still hit the three and get the ball where it needs to be, but she's been around for a long time. And we see Williamsburg starting to bring in some young blood, looking
Big
at Marshall.
Block.
Oh, yeah, huge.
Big block there.
Marshall and Linwood, you were talking about Linwood, the rookie, obviously already finding a way into the starting lineup. Williamsburg is looking on the way up right now, whereas in the past few seasons, there were a lot of question marks because they were relying on veteran experience versus pure talent.
Yeah, and I was on the phone earlier with Ken Williams, actually, before, he couldn't join us, but he had made mention, Tanya Linwood is a Rookie of the Year candidate based on her performance thus far this season.
No doubt.
Let's see. No good there. Yeah.
I was going to say, definitely no doubt one of the better starters this year already found her way into the starting lineup. It's a big three from there, tying it up.
Yeah, so in fact, I would actually, and I'm sorry there, my mic cut out briefly. As that lands, Williamsburg up 16-14 now, with about 5:50 left on the clock. It is crazy in some ways that Plymouth doesn't have a single representative on the All-Star Week game, being, how they are performing this season, but at the same time I can understand it. And you know what? Everyone deserves their opportunity to shine. They're shining as a unit, as a team right now, in a league format. Let some of the other guys in,
Not just that, they have a big multiple blocks down there and a shot clock violation.
Yeah, there's a mountain in the way.
Well,
I don't even think I have to say it.
No, you don't. And I mean, that going back to his days in Seattle when he was playing along beside DQ, an absolute nightmare. And he learned from some of the best in terms of being such a problem in the post.
And, up 19-16 now, just under 5 minutes left. Williamsburg takes their first, I believe, of the night. First time out here.
Yeah, I have a feeling they wanted to get their starters off the floor. It had been quite a while since the last dead ball, and I think their starters are starting to feel a little tired there, and maybe they want to also make a little bit of an adjustment against Cruz, but I think Cruz has been pulled. Also, I think both teams decide to bring their bench on.
Yeah, tiredness is an interesting aspect of the Minutemen. If you think about it, they are, and this was another statistic I was going to bring up later, but you led perfectly right into it, Eastman. How do you do it? If you look at Marley and Linwood, they're both towards the top 10 in terms of minutes played on the court. So Coach Shields pushes these players when he gets the opportunity. He's not usually as concerned with giving the starters a breather, in other words.
Yeah, and I mean, it may be a symptom. Ooh, a good three there.
Yeah, Oliveira coming in from the bench to get that three puts Williamsburg up 21-19.
Coach may not be as confident in some of his bench players. You know, he'd rather his starters play a little tired. He may think that's the best opportunity to get his players the best out of the play of the team as a whole. But obviously, in a long season, that comes back to bite you come playoff time, especially with older players. You know, they may not be able to recover between games as quickly as some of the young guns.
You know, it's still the first quarter. Could be making up the time later. Oliveira missing a long three again, or at least this second attempt. So Marone tried to bring it up and pulled the foul. So Pelletier is on the line and makes that one. Mr. Rooster.
And that's something that I feel Plymouth did really well in the past couple off seasons. You know, they haven't made huge splashes in terms of their starting lineup, acquiring players, but they have picked up players from other teams that have helped round out their bench. Obviously, Poitier coming from Dakota, Elijah Weber coming from Tennessee. Even Natalie Belmare, you know, was a Seattle Summit for a long time, but got picked up by Plymouth.
That's, you know, part of their unit's philosophy is to keep things fresh. But you have those cornerstone players who can be the leaders for this unit. As you know, the Taproots have had quite a bit of success over the years. Even when they have a down year or two, they bounce right back.
It took some time.
But this game so far, yeah, it definitely took some time. But we might be seeing now kind of the next wave, so to speak, as Williamsburg gets a three and goes up late here in this first quarter. I missed who got that.
I think Williamsburg is trying to show you that they can shoot threes. We've seen quite a few here tonight. Obviously, Oliveira helping coming off the bench adds to that long-range threat. But obviously, Marley almost requires a heavy commit on that perimeter defense. And actually, the Minutemen will want to go ahead and call a second timeout here already.
Yeah, I'm very impressed, I would say, just by the speed of the play of both teams so far. You know, you don't always see teams go up over 30 points in the first quarter alone, though that's becoming more common these days. Anyway, Oliveira, could she do another? No, she's going to take it up the paint, but is absolutely... That's a flagrant, though, on Turner.
No, it's not. That's the ball out of bounds. It was a violation, not a foul.
I'm glad you caught that over me. All right, back on the inbound for the Minutemen. Henderson getting some time tonight. The Cougar looking for someone open. They have to get a shot in, so Torrega will take a long three, and that one's no good. So Turner will bring it back up. Quick pass to Weiser. Back to Cruz. Trevor passes it on the inside to Turner, and that's a quick 2. Put them up 27-26. Under 2 minutes left here in the first.
Big play from Turner down there in the post. Again, those screens, give and goes. He's just such a threat if you don't rotate your defense properly against him. But, ooh, nice 3.
La Tierra getting that 3 down. And it's a back and forth affair here. These offenses, and of course, I mentioned it slightly earlier, it's really the defenses we have to watch tonight and how they perform. We've seen some solid plays, but the high scoring here continues as we're tied now at 29. Just under a minute now to go. Tarrega passing to the inside to Kendrick. Kaminsk back out to La Tierra. Trying to get some space. We'll take it up the middle and have to get a shot here, but no good. Back to the Taproots. Turner on the inside, passing it to Weiser. And Barbara. Off to Georges. And over to Cruz. Takes it all the way to the inside, but that one just hits off the rim, and it will be back to Williamsburg just under 30 seconds now.
You talked about playing time. Turner's been on the floor the entire quarter.
Well, maybe that was his personal, goal tonight. It was, well, if Williamsburg's going to put all their energy in the starting roster, let me show them a little bit about what Jake can do.
Yeah, well,
Trega getting the foul there.
You have to start worrying. Jake Turner's been in the league. This is his 10th season, I believe, and a big body like that can only take so much abuse over the years. At some point, you're going to expect him to need to start taking a little bit off his plate in terms of court time.
They have centers on their roster further down as we close out the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they drafted. I say they drafted Tejon this last draft. I think with that exactly in mind.
So as it stands, we are at 30-29 after one quarter, or 31-29, excuse me. And as we start here, we'll be looking to talk a little bit about what to expect in this matchup, but also a little bit about what to expect with All-Star Week. As we mentioned, some of the players who will be participating will be crossing the state borders to Bangor, Maine, and we'll have updates all week long for you about the dunk contest, the three-point challenge. We'll see Marley in that. O'Malley, Bronwyn, getting fouled by Pelletier, will go to the line here to start the second quarter.
And chance to tie it back up with 2 from the line here.
That one bounces out and
Caster's curse.
See if we can. Well, I don't think the Taproots fans mind. They look pretty excited about it. That one goes down. So Weiser will bring it up to start the second quarter for the Taproots over to Tejon. So they are giving him some time here in the second quarter. But Pelletier fumbles it, and Kaminsk will bring it back up. They've got their starting lineup here with a couple of exceptions here. Oliveira here filling in. A Turner man.
Yeah, he's an absolute threat, and coming out even to the three-point line, the block, I believe that was Kendrick, going for a bit of a long-range shot, but that's just going to give extra free throw trips here.
Yeah, we should mention the Kaminsk siblings both play for the Minutemen, so 14 tonight will be the jersey number for Kelsey. And Kendrick is number 17.
Ah, right. It doesn't help
just
that
to
both
get
of them
that
start
out.
with K for their first names as well. So
They did it to you specifically, Ryan.
yeah,
The
I'm
Minutemen
waiting.
are up 32-31.
I'm just waiting for the third sibling to join. That's going to be Kevin Kendricks as
Oh,
well.
please, there's so many siblings.
Turner, speaking of battling with one of them, ends up being a jump ball, I believe. Yeah, but I think I know which way this is going to go.
Well, did you figure it out?
Yeah, I think everyone at home, it's one of those puzzle games where, they pause the screen for a second and every kid gets to point at who's going to go to.
Alvaro got the deflection there, and they were able to get a 2-pointer. So the game goes on, but, you know, I don't even have full idea of what we'll see going forward when it comes to, how Plymouth decides they will tackle what is currently a really close game.
Well, that's one way, is to get sit to the line for 3 free throws. That's the second 3 free throw opportunity we've seen here tonight already.
And Elsinore on the line misses that first attempt. I guess they're trying to be more defensive. It's one way to call it.
Well, considering how close the game has been, it's a razor's edge right now, and giving up so many free throws is not the best way of helping deal with that. Even though missing 2 out of 3 is not a good way either.
So Cummins will bring it back up. Quick pass to Oliveira, but she's unable to get that too. So it's back to Tanya Feckel over to Turner. We'll pass it back to the outside. Alvaro's on the court alongside him. Turner, quick alley-oop over the head. Gets that shot down to make it 37-34 under 10 minutes left in the second.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you guard the hook shot against Turner, really. A little too much distance. I mean, Oliveira not able to get the 3 would have tied it up.
Yeah, Oliveira taking a lot of three-point attempts tonight, probably because of her size. She doesn't even want to risk getting into the paint there and trying to tackle mountains.
I mean, she's a butterfly. She can just fly over.
Yeah, well, have you heard of the lap rule, sir? You should know.
I mean, just a strong breeze would lift her in the air. She doesn't even need to flap.
Uh-huh. Well, this will need further explanation, I believe. Is Turner there, getting another quick 2. Plymouth are now up 7, and here they're starting to show a little bit of energy offensively. In this quarter, at least.
Just... I'll wait
But
for the 3
Oliveira makes that one.
I was going to say, all they need to do is bring the Montana snowblower rental they found and stand in front of it. I'm pretty sure she'd be blown away.
A big dunk there. That was impressive as well. Don't get me started on that whole massacre of an incident last year. It was... People remember that in some cases more than their finals win.
So you're telling me they did it to get to the finals?
Well, the conspiracies are still out.
Plymouth starting to pull a little away here, almost up by double digits now.
Yeah, absolutely. The offense taking off, and that huge knockdown. I don't, again, need to really mention who that was, but Latiera going in for a long 3, bounds off, and Turner will bring it back up.
And this is where the
quick
3
pass
just...
to the inside to the Badger, and that's his first shot of the night, I believe.
Yeah,
now they're up by 10.
Minimum having to call their 3rd timeout already, and that's the risk with the 3. You're accepting you're going to miss more for a higher reward. But when you start getting in those droughts, the score can just get away from you so quickly.
It becomes a balance of, how many of those threes do you want to risk taking? Of course, just you're going to make less of your threes than you make your twos. But as you get more to the inside, you have to deal with these two, the badger and the fox in the room. Both of them are over 7 foot tall, I believe. So it's like, if you don't take those long shots, you're going to have to risk getting physical, and some of the Williamsburg's players can't afford to do that.
Even though that is one way to help take them down, is get physical and get those fouls drawn against you and make them sit, make them worry about that. As Turner, 16 points already tonight.
Yeah, we see that on the opposite side of the ball too. Just an inability to really put up much of a fight when Plymouth decides to get inside the paint there. So it's 49-39 here, about 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. As Cruz brings the ball up, passes quick to Marone, will go for the three, and that one is in to make it 52-39. Kobe Marone, the point guard, we haven't heard much about him tonight. So that was a huge basket for him, and Feckel going for a quick two there, no good. We'll bring back up. That is Hendrick.
Marley down in the post. If they're not getting it done from a long range, she's going to attack the paint here tonight.
Cruz. Trying to find a space around the outside, and a quick dunk, if you even want to call it that. Are we at 20 points now?
Just about, if not already there. And they need to do something, Williamsburg, to stop Turner. That means being a bit more physical with him and letting him get to the free throw line. His free throw percentage is probably less than his field goal percentage right now.
Well, Marley is deciding here just to stay as far away from Turner as possible, but they still couldn't get that shot in. They had to pass to the outside to get enough space to take any shot. Quick defensive rebound. Back up to the outside. Marley needs some help from her center to at least get a shot in. They do make that one. But yeah, it is a little bit of like... Sorry, that one really gets me laughing. Now we're at 20 points. Quick pass from Pelletier to Turner, who is right there at the paint to take the quick shot. Makes it 56-44. And Torrega will get fouled. That's Turner's third.
Again, get some foul trouble going, and finally Turner gonna sit and have a chance to catch some breath and maybe not draw any more fouls.
Yeah, they can't afford him to come out of the game that early. Obviously, he's got a lot more, opportunity to rack those up, but he's their leading scorer by far tonight. But hey, that was a quick and easy three there to make it 59-45.
I mean, they don't need Turner on the floor to score, as evident, but it's now on Williamsburg to claw back here while he's on the bench.
And they'll be relying on the Wolfbat as well as Thompson, the Lion, going for a long three, and that was no good, so it will be back up to Plymouth here. Maybe get a quick score. Trevor Cruz looking for space. Couldn't quite get that one down, so Marley will bring it back up here. Marley. Over the Thompson and Linwood. Down in the middle to Torrega. The center passes it back out to the point guard, and the shooting guard, get at least a shot there. They need to slow this game down too.
Or pick up the tempo. I mean, they keep generating turnovers against Plymouth right now, and it's working in their favor. If Plymouth can't shoot, they can't build a lead or a bigger one.
Well, that was a unfortunate turnover by Plymouth there to give Williamsburg the ball again. Henderson going in for a long three. Rebounded by Terega, and he'll do the cleanup work to make it 59-50.
Back to single digits with under 3 minutes left to go here.
No good there. Yeah, and you see just the dynamic has completely shifted. Linwood waiting for something to set up in the back. Passes it over to Torrega, and Torrega will send it over. Henderson, then to Thompson, excuse me. Thompson. No good there. Barone. Long three. Oh. That one was almost impressive in just terms of how long it was going to take to get into the hoop, but it didn't quite make it. So as we're about 2 minutes left in this first half, we make this a 5-point game. Henderson. Nope. And now Weber will get his time on the court here a little bit here late. Passing it over to Feckel. Some quick hoof work there. Trying to get some space. It has to send it back out to Marone, who will get the long three. How about Toby Marone?
I mean, honestly, I was going to say, honestly, a great player that Plymouth has developed through the draft and, obviously re-signed him recently for agency. They plan to go forward with him long term.
Arley getting a shot there to have 17 points on the night already. And Plymouth Smith there gives them another opportunity to get it to the Wolfbat. Perhaps for another good long three here from center court. No, she's going to take it back on the side, pass it quick to Torrega. That was almost too easy.
Yeah, the 3-game is opening up the post now. As you see, the Plymouth defenders are trying to make jumps on the perimeter, and it leaves the post a little bit open.
Tahone trying to bring it up into the paint, gets fouled. So we'll see Badger get opportunity here to extend the lead, but misses that first shot. Looks a little bit nervous on the floor, actually. Well, who knows? That one's down. All right.
Yeah.
We survived. So under 30 seconds left in the half. Williamsburg with the ball, trying to get anything really down. You just want to finish this half with, something good to look back at. That was a little bit of a mishap there with Plymouth's return up the court, but they're able to keep control of the ball just enough to send it over the Crews. Ow! And yeah, that will end the time.
I mean, honestly, it is Williamsburg. I feel like the momentum is swinging back in their favor. Yes, they're down by 8, but considering where they were at 6 minutes ago in the game, it's going their way, momentum-wise at least. But there's that Fox on the bench that, will be back.
Yeah, we've got 63-55 lead. The Taproots currently holding it at home. Turner and Marone have 36 points combined, and Turner with 5 blocks is just keeping anything and everything happening from within the paint tonight. You've
Yeah, he
also
is.
got
Go ahead. Go ahead.
a variety of different players. Sorry, like Pelletier with 6 points, Barbara Weiser and Elsinore with 4 points each. Um, it's hard just to give uh, uh, much attention to anyone else tonight. Those two combined are really leading this team at the moment.
Oh, no doubt. Like I said, but just those two alone pretty much making up the bulk of the scoring tonight for the Taproots. And I was about to say Jake Turner on track to get a triple double here tonight if he keeps up this defensive showing.
On the Williamsburg side, Tarrega leads currently in minutes, but has 13 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. La Tierra with 10 points and an assist, but is 4 of 12 from the floor tonight. And then, of course, Michaela Marley, 4 of 6 from the 3-point line, currently leads her team in 3-point scoring. Oliveira with 8 points in 10 minutes. Commenced no points, but 7 rebounds. And just a little bit more of an overall team effort from their side of things. But Coach Shields is going to have it, I should say, Shields Sr., in his first season here, is going to have to look for ways to rally this group together for the second half. What would you think he's saying to his team at the moment?
I would say he's probably telling them, we got to take this one step at a time. Down by 8, it feels like that's a big margin with how much work they've already put in just to get to this point, and they're still obviously not all the way there yet. But I would be focusing on what I'm going to do when Turner's on the floor, because they really don't have an answer for him right now.
Yeah, the Taproots are 60% of their shots tonight versus 47 from the Williamsburg side. So that's the main difference maker here as the teams head back out onto the court to begin this second half.
Yeah, like I said, that Turner there, probably going to see him back on the floor to start this quarter, in fact.
Yep, Williamsburg will start with La Tierra bringing up the floor. Plenty of space there to get that 3 down. And just like that, it's a 5-point game. But of course, you got to give Plymouth at least one shot.
Well, you talked about her being 4 of 12, and that's kind of, I think, why they were willing to let her have a little bit extra space. They didn't feel like they needed to force it, but Cruz immediately answering back with one of his own to get the crowd excited.
Yeah, I think that was a direct response to La Tierra, basically saying, you know what, if you're going to do that kind of game, watch me. Oh, Kamensk! That was impressive. And that makes it 66-60. And Cruz will try to bring it up fast here, but gets fouled by Marley. And she's trying to shrug it off like it was no big deal. So Cruz on the free throw line makes his first. And barring a catastrophe, will get his second. So Marley. Bringing it up the floor here. Yes. Doing all the footwork that you could imagine. That looked like dancing for a moment. Passes it back to Kamensk, though, and La Tierra on the outside center.
Ooh.
Sets up Linwood. And that's her best play of the night by far.
I was about to say, she's been quiet here tonight, letting the others get the threes going, but absolutely attacking the rim there on the alley-oop.
Almost showing it how it was done to some of these veterans on the court. It's got to be really energizing for the young player. Plymouth missing their response, so Williamsburg back with the ball. La Tierra passing it on the inside to Tarrega. Turning around and getting a quick 2 there. Makes it a 4-point game now.
It was a double team effort down the post, but obviously Turner was not part of that double team, so able to make it work in a 3, no good on the other end. Good
Yeah,
chance.
Marone missing that one. So here's another chance for Williamsburg to make another quick shot here and make this the 2 or 1 point game. It's Kendrick passing it out, but that was no good here. So, all right, calm down a little bit, Plymouth. Do it for the home team. Pass it to the outside to Marone, get another 3-point shot, and that's a difficult 3 to make.
Still able to convert it though, and back to 7 here.
Yeah, 71 to 64. Williamsburg's response here is a quick 2. That's no good. So back to Fox. And they get off to Mr. Trevor. Will go for his own long 3. And someone's got to get on the outside to cut off some of these long 3s that Plymouth has been drowning all night long. Otherwise, it's going to be a long second half.
Well, you see there, he's basically playing around where Turner is to get Turner to throw him a screen. And the defense is going to have to be more aggressive on getting by those screens if they're going to want to get a paw in Trevor's face.
I mean, they have Marley on the onset trying to keep or to contain Turner as he's bringing up the court, and the size differential is just too much. In some of these cases, Marley going, and she heard me talking shit.
Well, and she called for the screen and got open, and she had the opportunity to drive the basket, but chose to take it from 3. And you almost wish a little bit closer to get a higher percentage shot for the guaranteed bucket, but she's feeling it from beyond the arc right now. And ooh, a screen illegally thrown by Cruz will cause a turnover.
That's an interesting call there. And
He's
you can see
angry.
Turner's trying. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's a little bit one of those things that you don't usually see, especially from these two guys here. In a game where, you're leading by 7 right now, and I guess they'll use that opportunity to give a little bit of breather to those starting 5. But yeah. All right. Linwood will bring it up for the Minutemen here. Just under 8 minutes in the third. La Tierra inbounds it to Tarrega, and he'll get a quick 2. Make it 74 to 69.
Yeah, that's been a good play for them so far. Throwing the screen and driving to the basket after, and whoever's the more open one takes the shot. Ooh, Cruz, another 3.
All I can do is laugh because that was, excellently executed by Cruz. And, player number 69 getting a 3 to go up even further above the 69-point team. That's a lot of 69.
Family friendly show here. Family friendly show.
Okay. Well, I wasn't the one who started it. Trevor did.
But I'll be the one to finish it.
Cruz passes it over to Marone, and that will count for 2. But stepping off his back paw there to get that quick pass and toss up shows that this unit still has a lot of energy tonight. Starting 5.
Still an 8-point game here, and they just need to start getting some of those defensive stops or generating a few more turnovers against this Plymouth offense.
Right, and Turner will get fouled there by Tarrega.
Or getting Turner
for the most part.
I would say get Turner to get called on a few more fouls. Like, he's at 3, I believe. So, if they can get up to 4 or 5 this quarter, that'd be great to get him off the court.
it starts to become a little bit of a risk to, you have to basically start doing minute management. Um, you don't want your point scoring leader or your block leader to be out of this game. So Marley looking on the inside, passing it to Kamensk there, and they'll get a quick shot off there to make it 80-73. It's Aron over to Feckel. Again, with the fancy hoofwork, Feckel. That one wasn't quite in order for the Taproot, so Minutemen bring it back up.
And they're finally getting some misses from Turner here. I think the defense has made adjustments. Linwood wide open, not able to convert from beyond the arc.
Yeah, for as much as the Minutemen love to make to go for the three, sometimes it's a little bit of a, and as we've mentioned several times tonight, it's a risk that they love to take. But they're showboating a little bit. This makes their own three to make it 83-73 now. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. But yeah, so far this season, we have not seen. And I have to cut myself off there because that was a out of bounds violation there. So in case you're listening in but not able to watch, Williamsburg will have to inbound it.
And not a lot of time to draw up a play either. Tara
No, but
doesn't
Latiera
care.
didn't need. She didn't need that much time. In for three. As I was saying, though, previously, is that both these teams this season not as successful defensively. Only Tallahassee has fewer blocks per game than these two units on the floor tonight. Oh! That's another strong arm 2-point conversion from Comments, but Turner turns it right back.
Yeah, he can't. He's not going to let Williamsburg get back in this if he is on the floor. He's going to do anything he can to be a thorn in their side, and Marley's going to need to get things done from beyond the arc, and she can.
Yes. Both these teams now taking what they do best and amplifying it, so much so that Plymouth has to take a timeout, and that's their first of the game.
I mean, I don't blame them in terms of, wanting to talk. I'm not saying that they've lost the momentum here, but Williamsburg is not falling off at all. And, the last time they were coming back was because Turner was off the court, but even with him on, they've been able to stay in stride with the Taproots here.
Yeah, we saw Shields getting right up in face of Marley, probably with some instruction about how to change the defensive game here just enough to get back in. And they get Toby Marone for a shooting foul there, his first of the game. So maybe it worked. Latiera at the line makes her first. Is now a 5-point game. Still really close. I mean, anything within, 5 points is a minute of gameplay at worst of a difference, maker. This is 2 shots.
Yeah. I mean,
so
these players tonight have to be, they can't just be focused on offense. They have to be shutting down the defense. And Belmare.
Yeah, that's her first of the night as far as I know.
I think so, too.
So the Puffin getting an opportunity here in the third to show off a little bit. But that long three, in and out for Williamsburg, so Plymouth will get another chance to make it, a 7 or 8 point game. Long three.
We're on track to break 100 here for Plymouth before the third quarter even ends. Ooh, block from behind.
And Marley
That's like
defended
7.
from behind. Yeah, that was a huge play by Plymouth to keep Marley from scoring. I don't even think she sensed anything.
I think she felt the shadow, way over her right before the block, but that was about it.
Shadow looming. Tierra now with the ball, bring it back up for Williamsburg. Passes it over to Marley. And Michaela, over Turner's head to Commons, will have to get some space or pass it out back to Marley. Opts for the ladder, but Marley is unable to land that one. And now we see Plymouth doing their own quick adjustment here to get Turner some space. Over to Bellamar, and that's another quick and easy shot for the Puffin to make it 94-83, a minute 30 left.
And Williamsburg has had the advantage in terms of number of shots taken, but just not able to convert nearly as many, and it's been the blocks. Turner has rejected, I believe, 7 tonight by himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is something that I'm sure was part of the knowledge of their game plan, but they're not succeeding at keeping, all right, at least really working with the knowledge of just how good of a center Jake Turner has been for the Taproots in these recent years. So.
Back to 7 here. Less than a minute left to go in this third quarter. Let's see if Plymouth can hit that 100 mark. Unlikely now.
That miss by Jake. Gives the ball back to Williamsburg. They may be satisfied with trying to just end this quarter. They are just trying to make some space there, and that, I don't know if that was going to be a 3, but it was no good. So Plymouth has one more shot here, probably. It's Cruz. Sends it on the inside to Turner. Turner takes a step to the left and makes that one, so it's 96-87. And that is likely...
Oh!
No, I jinxed it. That was
Vera!
Amazing. Tierra with a half-court throw.
Just give Williamsburg the game with that. I mean, we see those every game, and so rarely do they fall in, but that was perfect.
I haven't seen a half-court shot, live at least, until this game. So all credit to Vera for that one, but it was kind of like the last second credit here. We start the fourth, 96-90. This game is so close that it almost needs some sort of like miracle shot there.
I was going to say the crowd wanted to come into the fourth quarter loud, and after seeing that, they managed to get Cruz a little bit of support to get his own 3 fired off.
Yeah, Coach Boyd said, don't think about that last shot too much, do your own thing, and he started Plymouth off with a 3, but Williamsburg comes right back with a 3 of their own. I missed who got that one.
Oliveira. Yeah.
Butterfly is proving her own capability tonight, and now we're over 100 there after Tahone makes his second shot of the night. Gives him 5 points for the evening thus far. Tierra, another long 3! And it's still a 5-point game.
Ooh,
Plymouth! Oh my god.
Hey,
that was like 4 seconds.
did I fall asleep and I'm at the 3-point contest?
these opening minutes here in this fourth
And now the dunk contest!
are giving me a shock to the heart. Williamsburg down with the slam there. I believe that was Tarrega, and now it's 104-98. Just enough of a moment to give credit to Tanya there for that quick three on the last play. They'll go for another here, but that one was no good. So Linwood would bring it back up for the Minutemen. And Oliveira trying to get some space on the inside. Couldn't really manage it. So stops and sent it back to the outside. Marshall over to Vera. And Linwood for a long three of her own. Couldn't quite get there. I think the rookie is getting excited about her teammates having so much success. And I'm going to be out of breath by the end of this evening if this keeps up. Ryan, I don't know what to do for you.
I'm just pretending we're at the All-Star game right now because there's between the 3-point and the dunks, I feel like I'm getting a preview show.
Absolutely here. That one holds up forever on the rim, but falls down to Williamsburg's. Another shot here in Kamensk is the one to bring Williamsburg to the century mark. Number 86 hands it to Cruz. And that's a quick... I keep saying quick. Everything's been quick tonight.
Yeah, I mean, in this fourth quarter, they really haven't burned through much of the shot clock before taking the shot, and maybe that was the adjustment they made. Plymouth wanted to come in with a high tempo to try and smother the Minutemen.
Absolutely, but I think, credit gives the Taproots for responding in basically the same manner, and they still maintain an 8-point lead here. So Barbara Weiser with the ball. And maybe things will slow down a little bit here. And that long three, impressive, if anything.
I feel like Cruz might have overtaken Turner by this point in terms of just points this game.
Linwood's missed three again there. Gives them another chance, though, off the rebound. They did find the shot, so it's 103 to 111. Cruz going up the middle here, and that was good. But do we expect anything less? I think not.
At this point, no. And Williamsburg has been doing everything they can. As Vera, another three, but I would be like, oh yeah, Williamsburg up by 10 at this point. No, Plymouth has just been going toe for toe in terms of hitting from beyond the arc here tonight.
Yeah, just before I'm able to get it out of my mouth, out of my muzzle, that is. Tarrega there on the foul sends Cruz to the line. Actually slows down this game a little bit, so now I can, finish my sentences. But the energy that both of these units are providing it's coming down now to just who is being more efficient from the court. And as you said at halftime, and reiterated at the end of the third, it's Williamsburg that's kind of struggling there in that aspect. As many threes as they've been making as they get to two-pointer there.
Yeah, we see both teams. I think full starting lineup back on the floor. Vera might, we'll see. It felt like she was starting to get a little fatigued there at the end. But we'll see if she can hold up into this fourth quarter with 6 minutes and some change left to go.
And the Taproots started defending Kamensk now. Makes it a 5-point game. As Marone brings the ball up. Tries to get some space of his own in the middle there. Rebounded by Bellamar. Back out to Marone for a second opportunity, but couldn't get that one down either. So Williamsburg gets the ball back. And Kelsey back on the outside. To Marley. And the miracle three maker couldn't get that one down. So with about 6 minutes left, it's still a 5-point game. Turnover, and it's Linwood with the ball for the Minutemen. Second opportunity here for them to get a score here and make it a one-shot game. As Marley takes it up the middle, sends it back out to Linwood. Is this her 3-point opportunity of the lifetime? It's going to have to be. And falling backwards makes that one down.
She missed the
Impressive.
easy ones earlier, but hits that one, which is probably 10 times harder than any she's attempted tonight.
So now it's a 2-point game. As Marone brings it back up once again, goes for the 3 right away. And the crowd loves that. They've saved all the excitement here for the fourth quarter, Ryan.
That they have. I mean, the absolute scoring frenzy is Vera's going to answer back with a 2, keeping it within 1 basket.
Yeah, both of these teams on edge right now. As you may have mentioned, both starting rosters are out there, I believe.
Ooh!
But Marone turns it over, and Linwood sends it to Marley, who gets the shot, and it's a 1-point game.
Plymouth, I would not be surprised if they call a timeout here.
We've got plenty of timeouts remaining. 4.5 minutes left. The coach is, I guess, opting not to call one here. And Turner gets the rebound opportunity to make it 3 again. So perhaps they're waiting until they have more time off the clock before using those timeouts, just in case it comes down to a single shot.
Yeah, ooh, good interception there from Fat Goal.
Yeah, Tanya sends the ball to Trevor, who's on the left outside, brings it up to the center of court. Now Marone with the ball. Getting lots of passes in. Marone, I believe, made that 3, or was it Cruz?
It was Cruz again. Coming up on like easily 30 points here tonight for him.
Absolutely monstrous game for him, as another turnover from Williamsburg sends Marone back up court, and Williamsburg has to foul there to get, whatever they can. Lots here or there.
6-point game. They were 1 point was the closest they've been in forever, and now it's slipping away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where actually, as they send Tarega and Kendrick back to the floor, now all starters are on the floor, I believe, and that's the way they need to bounce back here, get some extra energy to keep the momentum up. And Turner blocking that easily, has to be going mad with rage at this point. Otherwise, I don't understand how you could be nearing 10 blocks a game. Marone on the outside there makes that a quick 3, and now it's slipping away.
Yeah, but I mean, when we look at the stats, and obviously Minutemen calling a timeout here because this is they only have 1 left, but this is their last chance to get the momentum, the game back in their favor. But I feel like Williamsburg has not played anywhere near a bad game tonight. But the fact that Plymouth is so still able to hold a lead like this, despite the onslaught of 3s, just shows how dangerous Plymouth can be.
Absolutely, and it sometimes comes down to that when you've got teams that are pretty equally matched. It's the last 5 minutes of the game, and if you don't have control of those 5 minutes, you can see the score slip away from you like this. So Turner here pretty much undefended. It's the 2, and now it's 13 points. Because we only have 2.5 minutes left here. They have to get some quick 3s down and use some foul technology, as they call it.
Well, 13-point game. I'm going to go ahead and call it wrapped up if they can't hit a quick 3. At this point, Plymouth can pretty much just burn the whole clock with the number of possessions they lead by.
Unfortunately, Michaela missed that last one, so Cruz now with the ball is probably satisfied enough just to use as much time on the clock as possible, but sends it on the inside to give Turner his 30th point of the game. Give Plymouth credit. Crowd is still here.
Oh, I mean, they're going to watch their team win by a significant margin. If they were down right now, they probably would be leaving.
I don't think I would have called it this way had you asked me, when we were at 116, 115. This is a rally at this point for Plymouth. And Turner comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, Williamsburg finally just blinked. That, a little dust got in their eye, and they opened their eye again, and they were 100 meters behind their runner in front of them suddenly.
I think the Minutemen sense it too, because the energy is being zapped out of them.
Well, we see both teams already going ahead and getting their bench players ready to go, and the fact that this foul results in a dead ball, we'll probably see both teams subbing out their starters.
Yep.
Cruz gonna get to stay in just
chanting.
by benefit of being at the free throw line.
I think they were chanting MVP. I don't know about that at this point.
I mean, none of them made the All-Star game. Can you be an MVP without an All-Star appearance?
Maybe they're just, it's got to be in reaction to the All-Star Week results, of course, It's...
But less than a minute left to go here, Matt. You're obviously, you said that you didn't expect this even like 5 minutes ago, this kind of final score. But what does this say to you about Plymouth and Williamsburg going into the rest of the year?
Well, I still say that both of these teams have their strong suits that you have to be afraid of. I would definitely still be afraid of the 3-point line when it comes to Williamsburg. But for everything that Williamsburg has thrown at the Taproots here tonight, Plymouth has had an answer for. And they've had the right personnel on the floor to have an answer for it. So I think just from coaching to personnel to keeping the energy up, the Taproots are definitely a contender this year, as the record shows, for making it, a really good, strong game.
Yeah.
No matter what they do.
For me, I think teams need to look at this game and go, okay, we can't let Turner get going like that defensively. We'll see his final stat, but I'm pretty sure he ended up with 8 blocks to end the night. And yes, he did.
8 blocks, 37 points, matched
35.
almost. Sorry, it was 37 from Marone and matched by 35 from Trevor Cruz himself. Those 3 alone, over 100 of the points scored tonight. That trio is something that every team needs to be watching. And, I think if you had told me before this game that they would have an awesome night, I would have believed you. But at the same time, it's just so impressive that it's almost shocking. No points from Pelletier in the second half here, and Tahone, as we saw, had an early 2, but that was it. Otherwise, was mostly used for rebounding and kind of a secondary defender. Barbara Weiser with 4 points in 16 minutes and 2 assists. And we saw a little bit of Weber, but not that much time, just enough to get a couple plays in. Bellamar had a more strengthy second half for the team with a steal of her own. And if we talk about Williamsburg's points, La Tierra leads the pack there with 29, followed by Marley with 27. Marshall Tarrega with 19. Kendrick Commons with 12, but 16 rebounds. Doing a lot of the work there. But I don't see any blocks in the top half of that grid, Ryan, of stats.
They were defensively, as we saw, the fact that 3 players on the other team totaled over 100. Their defensive presence was not being felt tonight.
Yeah, they brought it out offensively, but like I was kind of giving some credit uh, to both teams. It was definitely a defensive struggle for the Minutemen tonight. They had one block there from Elaine Thompson, but other than that, if they weren't going to get the turnovers or the steals, uh, it was going to be really difficult for them to try and win offensively. They did a little bit better of shooting in the second half, I believe, uh, but right at the end there, it got away from them. And credit to Coach Boyd too, for bringing his team aside there in that fourth quarter and kind of calling that game plan. Williamsburg had the energy to follow um, that crazy 3-pointer from La Tierra at the end of the third, um, but lost it quite fast after a few minutes of a clock went by, and Plymouth took advantage of that.
Well, as you saw there, Williamsburg did not play poorly in that final quarter. They just uh, got outscored massively.
And that can happen. It's a little bit of a misnomer in the league to really give any team, um, I guess, a advantage or call out an advantage even before the teams have had a chance to prove themselves. But um, I think at least outside of Turner, you could say that it was a little bit of a defensive struggle. But maybe that can always make a difference. One player can make a difference. And I saw a lot of good play from both sides tonight. It was a really exciting game. You know, it was so close for so long. But it was Plymouth that came away with the victory tonight, and they get their 32nd win, or 31st win, sorry, of the season there to keep at the top of the East, while Williamsburg is uh, going to have to make some major changes here as they go into All-Star week, or they're going to be on the outside looking in as we get towards the latter half of the season. Any final thoughts, Brian?
I think tonight was Plymouth playing angry after losing a few games in a row. To come in the night, they played mad, and it showed.
Yeah, they responded in a big way. They get the victory tonight. I believe the final score was 138 to 129,
21.
or sorry, 121. And that will do it for us in SportsDen 2024. I've been Matt Lewis. Ryan, thank you so much for joining me tonight on last minute notice. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me, and we will see all of y'all during All Star Week.
Yes. Congratulations again, and have a good night, everyone.